Hello guys, this is Ezekiel Kelly, or if you like, call me Kelly Inspiration. Like I promised to do a series on temperaments, I'm right here to do it. Please guys, this information is not meant to condemn anyone. Don't say I've already known your weaknesses and strength, please. This is meant to help us know our strengths and weaknesses, and also to help us relate well with the people around us, at our workplace, family members, and so on and so forth. And so today we are going to see the first temperament in the category of the extroverts. And today we are discussing about sanguines. Have you seen people who go to a completely new environment, but they interact with people so friendly, and you would think they've been there, they've known each other for quite long. And you can ask them, did you know these people before? And they tell you, we're just meeting today. Those are the sanguines. Sanguines are very talkative. Sanguines are very warm. Sanguines are very friendly. They love people from the heart. That is just them. They just love people. I mean, they can interact with people. They can play around with children. These are the people you see making faces for children. They're the ones. You know, where if your eyes accidentally meet with the sanguine's eye, they can easily respond by maybe winking or maybe greeting or something. Those are the sanguines we're talking about. And so we are going to see certain characteristics of a sanguine, or strengths of a sanguine. Number one, sanguines are very creative. These guys can think on their feet. This guy can come up with an idea very quickly. They're the ones. Most of them are artists. You know, most of them are comedians, singers, you know, MCs. Some of them are, you know, salespeople. Because of their way of persuasion, they can persuade someone very easily. Those are the sanguines. Sanguines are multi-talented. They can do so many things. You find him or her doing this thing. They can also do something else. They can sing, they can act, they can speak well. They can do so many things at the same time. Multi-talented. Sanguines are visionary. They have visions. They want to do this. I mean, if they talk, if they tell you the kind of things they want to achieve, you'll be marveled. They never lack a vision. Another thing, sanguines are very enthusiastic. When they decide to do something, they begin it with enthusiasm, with zeal and energy. They're very energetic also. That is sanguines for you. Sanguines, like I've said, are very talkative. Sanguines are very interactive. Number one strength of a sanguine is compassion. They are very compassionate. They can feel for someone. When someone is going through stuff, they can feel for that person and even shed tears on behalf of that person. When someone is happy, they can join that person and be with that person. I mean, anything they do is meant to serve people. These are the sanguines I'm talking about. Sanguines can be very humorous. They can make fun, they can crack jokes, and people can laugh around them. That is why they can enter an environment and people are very happy because of their humorous nature. But you know, sometimes they can be very blatant in their humor, and that can annoy some people. Some people can catch up because, you know, they can tell you something, but they don't care how they speak it. But people will laugh anyway. Another thing is that sanguines enjoy life. These people will put fun in everything they're doing. They will put fun anywhere. They like enjoying life. They can come up with all kinds of ideas to enjoy life. They scoop life with a big spoon. That is sanguines for you. Like I've said, they're very persuasive. That is it. And so also let us see some of the weaknesses of a sanguine. And please let me warn you once again. Like I've said, no one has completely one temperament. We have cocktails of temperament, different percentages. but there is always one that stands out that someone can easily be recognized with. And that is why people can never be the same. You find two sanguines, but they are completely different because of the different percentages of the cocktail of their temperaments. Now, weaknesses of sanguines that they really need to work on. Number one, and which is the most serious one, is indiscipline. Sanguines suffer indiscipline. Beginning something and not finishing. That is one thing they really need to work on. Sanguines can be very extravagant. They can buy things they never need simply because the thing has been advertised very well or it is well packaged, not because of their value. They fall victims of impulse buying. They go to buy one thing from the supermarket, but they end up buying other things that they never needed completely. And so you find they have all kinds of things that are duplicated around them. That is a weakness of a sanguine. And also sanguines are inclined to the opposite sex. And so they need extra discipline to overcome sexual temptation. Another area of discipline, like I've said, they're very persuasive. And so those who don't have some good foundation of character can use that skill on the negative aspect to con people. That is why most of them actually, that do not have character become con women and men because of their way, because of their talent of persuading people to believe in what they're saying. Another thing is that sanguines are very spontaneous. Plan is never their thing. They just come up with something and they want to do it immediately without planning on how it will go before. They can decide to travel without prior preparation and they do it. Anything they're doing is spontaneous. So, well, it is fine, but sometimes plans are good. So, sanguines may need to calm down and deliberately plan for what they're going to do so that they avoid unnecessary costs and time wastage. Another thing is that sanguines are very egocentric. They believe they're the best and they like recognition. When they go to a place and their presence is not recognized and their presence are not recognized, they feel it. So to relate well with the sanguine, appreciate what they do. Say, man, you did it so well. This thing you're doing so well. They like it. They like a kind of appreciation. And because of that, sanguines like being flamboyant. They can buy very sharp cars. They can dress very sharply. Most of them like bright colors, by the way. They don't like dull colors. They like bright colors so that when they enter place, their presence commands respect. They exist. But they can be very sharp, very sharply dressed outside there. But if you go back to where they're dressed, it's very messy. So they need to check on that keenly, that one deliberately. Sanguines live for now. That is another thing they need to check. Sanguines live life now. The future will take care of itself. That is their belief. Which can be very dangerous because they find it difficult to save. So a sanguine has to deliberately discipline him or herself to save for the future or for any uncertainty. And because they live in the present, they don't consider what happened in the past. And that can make them not learn from the past. Something happened to them in the past that, destroyed them or destabilized them. They don't think about it and they repeat the same thing that, they hardly learn from the past. So that is something they need to check deliberately. They need to check deliberately. Another thing with the sanguines is that sanguines are easily distracted. They start a project, very quickly another idea comes, they drop it, start another one. They are easily distracted. Their concentration span is very, very, very little, and they need to deliberately work on it. They are easily distracted, so they need to avoid distraction so that they can focus in an area and achieve in that area very well. Sanguines are, weak-willed. They give up very quickly. They give up very quickly. They begin something, they lost the interest, and they drop it there. Sanguines can drop, these are the people who can date so many people before they get married. They did this one here, they find something very small, they drop it, they've lost interest. They take another one, they find something very small, they drop it, and they keep on that way, which can be quite detrimental. So they need to check on their will. They begin something, when something comes slightly, they drop it and leave it. And number one thing, because this can also work on the positive or on the negative, of course, majorly on the negative, but sometimes sanguines find it very easy to overcome disappointments and heartbreaks. They can easily walk out of disappointment and heartbreaks. There's someone you can fire from job today, and they can feel it for that day, they can feel it, but after a few days they say, even that job was not that fine. And they're very fine, and they're very optimistic. They believe the future will be fine. And that optimism can make them underrate the present and underrate the future and not take precautions for the future. Sanguines can exaggerate, I tell you. They can exaggerate something and make it bigger than the normal size. That is something about the sanguines. And so many more that we are still going to learn about sanguine. So if you discover you're a sanguine, or you know a sanguine around you, these are things that they're likely to experience. And so you are not condemned to the weaknesses. Someone can work themselves out of the weaknesses. They can suppress the weaknesses if they know. But if they don't know, they can suffer the weaknesses. Thank you so much, guys. We are still going to consider other temperaments. Please appreciate your support. People have contacted me through emails. Some people have even supported me. I appreciate so much. So in case you're also willing to support, my email address is right at the description. That is the email I use for the PayPal. If you send something, why not? That's a motivation. Thank you so much, guys. Let's keep in touch for the next temperament in a few days. Thank you so much.